All right, team, R93. Again, a resistance-based workout, which means that we get their heart rate up through the load. But before we hit the load, form first, range of motion, then load, okay? Now, in this particular workout, we actually have 4 different circuits. 2 are running simultaneously. So we have 2 running at one time, then you get a break, then you run a set of 2 different circuits. There is a little bit of a change. You're gonna have to go from a flat bench to an incline. When you do the incline, you're only coming up 2 notches. That's all you need to come up. You don't need to go any further than that. Only 2 notches, okay? But you also need to raise the incline or the seat as well. Otherwise, people will slide out of that pretty easily. Okay. Our first exercise is dumbbell flat press. Pretty straightforward. What makes it easier or harder is simply going to be the weight. Always engage the core when you pick the weights up. Always try to pick up the weights from your legs, not from your lower back. You put the weights on your legs, you're grabbing them just like this, and you just roll back. And then you just come in to the pressing position. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can squeeze at the top. But it does no good to do the turning motion unless you actually squeeze and contract that chest muscle. So for most people, it isn't going to make any difference at all. If they do this, it's going to be more chest. If they do this, this is going to be more tricep. Okay, so again, you want them with the palms facing out or open palms. When they're done, they take it into the parallel position. They come down, raise their legs up, and then they're going to push themselves up just like that. Next is going to be, again, an active recovery. We're still working our chest and our core and all that kind of good stuff. This is Bosu up, down. All we're doing here, coming up, switching lead arms each time, okay? Now, most people are going to need to do this on their knees, okay? But for the more advanced, they can do them on their toes. Again, this is an active recovery. If they did that exercise properly, this one will still be hard. You're using a lot of tricep in that one. So for the people that like tricep, there you go. Then you have the alternating, the goblet, double goblet, or the, the double kettlebell or the goblet step up. On this one, I would recommend the goblet. The reason is because you're using your chest to hold this in position and you're trying to work chest. This is a chest and leg workout. So goblet is always the best option when you're doing chest along with legs. Alternating, you're going to keep your chest up. You come up, press through the heel, switch legs, press up. Again, through the heel. Now, if that's not enough and it's too hard for them to hold in that position, they can simply go to the double kettlebell. Again, same concept. You're pressing through the glutes, through the heel, utilizing the glute muscles. That's circuit number 1. Circuit number 2 is going to be the goblet kettlebell or double kettlebell squat. Again, I would recommend to most that they use the goblet. It's going to make the exercise harder, drive the heart rate up, okay? Again, we're contracting the chest. Chest stays up, drop the hips. Now, if they can't keep their chest up, or if they do this and then they come down, you don't have them go that far, because what you're creating is you're actually adding load to the top of their body, which creates more torque when they come down like this, which is going to create more issues with their lower back. So if they can't come straight up, straight down, like this, then have them either limit the range of motion or lighten the load. Now, if that's not enough, can't get enough weight that way, you can always go 2 and do the sumo squat. But again, same concept, you are going to want to keep that chest up. Next is going to be Russian medicine ball twist. So here, again, this is our active recovery. What are we doing here? Feet up. We're going to go from side to side. Now, for the beginner, they're simply sitting in the seated position and they're rotating from side to side. For the more advanced, the feet are going to be up and they're going to go side to side. They don't need to go super fast on that. They can go a little bit heavier because that's not going to break them down too much, but it is a resistance day, so I'm okay with them going a little bit heavier. But all we're trying to do is, we're trying to get an active recovery so that we can hit our next one. And our next one is going to be the equalizer dips. Now, equalizer dips, you can have those benches back here so they can put their feet up on the benches to make it a little bit easier. They can come back here and do the dips like this. They can put their feet up here and do the dips like this. or they can also help assist themselves. So they start with assisting themselves up, and then they let themselves come down, or they simply do a full dip. Again, not very many people are going to be able to do a dip the entire time. That's circuit number 2. Now, you have a brake. In that brake, the only thing that you need to change is right here. 1, 2 clicks. This comes up all the way. Okay, so that one comes all the way up. That's only 2 clicks. Here, again, this is circuit number 3. Circuit number 3, you're doing the dumbbell incline bench. Same concept. They land on the legs, they roll back, and they come to the chest position, then they push up. Again, you want the palms open face. If they want to, they can contract a little bit more at the top simply by rotating them in, but it doesn't do them any good. Again, if they rotate in, if all they're doing is rotating them, you want them to actually contract their chest if they're going to do that. When they're done, they want the parallel grip. They come down, they basically rest on the shoulders, legs come up, and they push themselves right out. Very simple. Make it easier. You go lighter in weight, make it harder, increase the load. That's pretty straightforward. Here, you're going to do the V-up Bosu crunch. So what you're going to do is you're doing a V-up. So for most people, it's just going to be a V-up, simply like this. Okay? Now, want a little bit more, grab that Bosu ball, and you do the V-up like such. Want a little bit more, and we come up all the way back and all the way up. That's going to keep increasing the load on your core. Now again, if they can't do that, for whatever reason, I can't imagine that anybody couldn't do that, they can always do crunches. They don't have to do the V-up. They can do leg lifts. They can do whatever they want on that one. Again, just involve the core. Next is going to be the goblet kettlebell or the double kettlebell reverse lunge. Once again, I would recommend that we do the goblet hold. That will help finish off the chest. They're going to have to hold it here. That will help contract that chest. Reverse lunge, they come back, they keep that chest up. They're coming down 90 degrees in the front leg. They push off with that front leg through the heel. If they need more, once again, they can just grab 2, come up. Try to make sure that when they do this, notice my foot, when it comes back, is straight. I'm not turning in or out. That puts a lot of excess load, lateral load on the knee. Not good for the knee. So you want to make sure, again, the most important thing with this is the form, and people struggle with that. Come back straight, straight down, straight up. Notice my chest stays up. I'll see a lot of people do this, or they'll do something like this. Not very good. As a matter of fact, the worst that I see is this, where they're coming over their toes, they don't have a very long gait, they bend forward. Don't want that. Want to come straight down, straight up, long gait, 90 degrees. Circuit number 2. It's going to be the kettlebell deadlift. So again, what you see out here as far as weights, you're going to need a much bigger weight selection. You need 2 dumbbells. You need pairs for that exercise there for both circuits. Here you're going to need definitely some heavier kettlebells here, heavier kettlebells there. Again, you're going to need more selection here. But kettlebell deadlift, you're going to be about shoulder width apart, slight bend in the legs, chest stays out, and we come back. Now notice I'm not rounding my back like this. My back stays straight. I come down and I squeeze my glutes as I come up. Squeeze the glutes. If they can't feel it in their glutes, that means they're not squeezing their glutes. They should not be feeling this in their lower back, although it is going to be something they might feel in their lower back, but they need to feel it in their glutes. And people can go heavier on that one than they think. Just be careful if they have weak lower backs. You got to be really careful about that one. Next is going to be the medicine ball crunch extend. So medicine ball crunch extend. All we're doing here, first of all, we're just going to do for the beginners a crunch. Simply a crunch. A little bit more, crunch, extend. Crunch, extend. For the advanced, they take that medicine ball and they're doing a crunch and extend with the medicine ball. That's all we're doing there. Again, just about anybody can do a crunch. If they can't get down on the ground, you can always have them take one of those boxes in the corner. We have a couple of boxes left over in the corner. You can have them do some crunches there. If somebody's not utilizing a bench, they can always do some crunches here. Easiest thing to do, just like this, where they're lifting both legs off the ground. Again, there's always a way to modify it. Next, we're not using these. We can clear those or push them back in the second round. You're going to be doing rip 60 push-ups. So the key to the rip 60 push-up is, first of all, the further you come out, the easier this is. Okay, anybody can, I can come out to here, and anybody can do that. Okay, it's 90 degrees. I don't need to come all the way back. That puts a lot of stress on the shoulders. 90 degrees. Make it harder, simply come in. Again, I'm only coming down to 90 degrees, and I'm going to contract. I'm going to try to contract all the way. Even harder, come down here, again, 90 degrees. If that's not enough, you can have them do flies, where they come out, and again, contract, they come out, and contract. And you can make that as easy or as hard for anybody. Once you get to the flies and you go all the way back to the wall, most of our members cannot do that. In fact, very few members can actually do that. All right, those are all the 4 circuits. Remember, you're running 2 circuits at a time. Circuit 1, circuit 2, then circuit 2, circuit 3. Remember, between circuit 1 and 2, I'm going to have to adjust the benches. I'm going to turn that into an incline. And then again, on the team challenge, make sure that you have fun and create relationships. If you're not doing those 2 things, you're not doing the proper team challenge. After that, then it's about finishing them off. And again, if you're going to do something that finishes a muscle group off, make sure you either use chest or legs. Do not do a back finisher and do not do a shoulder finisher. Make sure it is these particular muscle groups, because we don't want to overtrain. These workouts are very specifically written so that they don't overtrain. So don't be throwing in exercises that are not a part of that.